Hey, Planeswalkers, Mythras here. Hope you're doing well and staying safe. Today we got an awesome top 1000 deck we're going to take a look at. Something a little bit different that's been on my list for a while. I haven't been able to get to it, and today is the day. But before we do so, just a reminder, you guys can support the channel by subscribing down over there, following on Twitter or Twitch, as well as liking on Facebook. All right, so what is this top 1000 deck that we're going to check out today? Well, it's actually a Sultai Ramp deck. So this one is by Scaremonster. And let's go ahead and take a look at the list. This is pretty unique, and I'm very excited to pilot this for you today. So with that said, this deck list is available down below in the description, like I always say, so you'll have access to play it right away. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at how many lands. Running 28, always good to know. We normally play best of one, and we will do that today. So that's always a consideration that we got to keep in mind for sideboarding and those kinds of things if you want to change up your best of one deck here. All right. So big call outs. We got Massacre Worm here, so we have not been playing this yet. So this is going to be pretty interesting. For M21, when it enters, creatures our opponents control get -2/-2. Whenever a creature opponent controls dies, that player loses 2 life. So great in terms of board control. We got Eat to Extinction, a old Theros card here. This one's great in terms of control. Next, we have Extinction Event. This card is amazing. I really enjoyed this last season with a mono black deck I was running. And other new uplift from M21, Eliminate, destroy target creature or planeswalker with converted mana 3 or less. Very powerful card. Joel Reel. I don't even know how to pronounce that, so I'm gonna butcher it. But this card is a great card. It does a lot of things that people forget pretty easily. And the big one here is that for 6, until end of turn, creatures you control have base power and toughness XX, where X is the number of cards in your hand. This pairs really well with Nissa. So what happens is your 0/0 land gets 3 counters. You pop Joel Reel there, and no matter how many cards you got, it's going to be bigger than a 3/3. So the only catch there is if you had something like Euro, and then you pop this and you got 2 cards in hand, that's going to drop to a 2. So keep that in mind. It is a great trick. It stacks wonderfully well with Nissa, and it's a big pro tip in terms of these ramp decks. All right, and let's see what else. And then last we got Cultivate. So again, this is the big one for ramp. We get 2 cards, one we can put on the battlefield, the other one in our hand, and then everyone's favorite, Ugin, the Spirit Dragon. Okay, so there we have the deck. If you got questions, please ask down below. Happy to help. Next for our sideboard, again, a lot of different things. So we're going to take a moment here to cover these because it is important. Red or green, mono red, mono green, bant, Gruel, those kinds of things is where I'd play that. Next, we got Negate. So any counter magic deck, you're going to want to run this. Oh, sorry, you're going to want to run this against Simic Flash as well. Negate, you're going to want to run against other Planeswalkers decks. It would also run, so would Aether Gust, run well in the mirror, so keep that in mind. Azor's Control, a Temur Reclamation as well. You can run this in Temur Rec. Eliminate. So this is going to be a big one. We already got one main board. I would play this against any Teffi deck. Additionally, this is going to work out well for you against mono red and other fast decks like the Knights decks that we just did. My old Mardu Knights decks. We did the Boros one the other day. Those kinds of things to keep in mind. Also the Boros Houndmaster deck. That can give you another option, as well as mono black decks. Heartless Act. So this is a big one. This gives you a lot of options, up to 3 counters. Now, if they do target a land, it will kill the land, actually. So keep that in mind. It works well against Nissa. And let's see here. So I would run that against any of the control or the aggro decks that I had already talked about. That would be a good start for you. Legion's End. Where would you run this? So this is going to be great against like the Cavalcade deck that we did yesterday. This works really well against things on the low end of the curve, or if they got a lot of tokens, could work well against Joel Reel. What else? Lots of areas there. All right. Elder Spell, 4-colored, Yorian, Planeswalkers, yes, it is still around. Other Planeswalker decks, the Friends, the Zoo, whatever you want to call it, that's going to be your friend. And let's see. I mean, you could run it if you want to kill your own ones and pump Ugin fast or someone else fast too, so that's always a thought. Scavenging Ooze, one of my favorite cards, as I've mentioned before. Mirror match here, also against Sultai Ramp, bant as well. You want to get those Euros off the board. And any sack decks as well. You know, you could play Eliminate against some of the sack decks as well. I didn't talk about that earlier. John, this one would work, and Rakdos, that would also work. So it negates. Pretty much all this stuff would work well. Actually, and Legion's Engines would be really nice against the Cat Oven. Scavenging Ooze would help with against all those. Cry the Carnarium, same thing. All the decks, all the aggro stuff that we already mentioned. Now, here's an interesting one. Enter the God Eternals. So this one works really well against some of the aggro decks that have something higher on the board. So, for instance, this will clear Torbrand for you, and you get a big 4 creature, plus they mill 4. So I would consider that potentially anytime that you need to get something off the board. Again, this gives you a little bit extra distance. And mono green, this would run well against as well. Now here's a key card, Thought Distortion. Where do you play this? Well, first off, I've played against this deck a few times running the Simic Flash stuff, and I love playing Simic Flash. This card shuts down all the Simic Flash decks. So this is the first thing to go in from your sideboard. Keep that in mind. As well as other spell decks like the Is It Spells ones we've done. This sucker is so rough, especially when you run lots of cards that are not creatures. So, and it worked great in the mirror match. It takes out obviously all the Planeswalkers as well. So exile all non-creature, non-land cards from the player's hand and graveyard, and the spell can't be countered. So people always forget about this card. It is nasty if it clocks off, and it's going to deal a lot of damage and screw up the flow play. All right, there we go. That is a load of cards for you. The deck list, talked about the M21 or Core 21 cards, the sideboard. Now let's go play some games here with our top 1000 Sultai Ramp deck by Scaremonster. All right, we are going to jump into it. I believe I'm Diamond Tier 3 actually, so there's the Cavalcade deck from yesterday. And let's take this bad boy into battle. All right, looking forward to this. Now quickly, as always, before we get to Smith, just want to say thank you, Planeswalkers. Appreciate your support, your feedback. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there, or support by liking us on Facebook, following on Twitter and Twitch. All right. So, sorry. Trying to decide if I want to keep. I like this. We're going first. I'm going to keep it. And let's do it. I'm going to get rid of that land, though. We need to get to some playable stuff. I will pay 2 just in case. We need Eliminate. So if he doesn't play a land, we will be taking out his Gilded here. Grab those 2. Little deck thinning there for us. Also, I forgot to mention, currently working on a tier list for us to play and talk through as well. So looking forward to that. Plan is to get that out this week. Part of the reason why I want to play this deck for you guys. Let us... You know, when someone says nice, they probably got something that they're going to hit us with. So we do have enough for Casualties of War. So hopefully we can make it count here. Is it creature? Yeah, I don't need that. I'm gonna go destroy artifact, destroy creature, and land. Let's dump him and that. There we go. Boom. Done with Sultai Ramp. Look at that. On to our next game. Diamond match right there. Okay, next one. So that was a good way to see some of the M21 cards. We didn't get to Joel Reel there. Maybe next time. But we did get Nissa down. We got some of the ramp. We got off Casualties of War. Very nice. All right, Son Erickson here. Good ramp. See their hand. We got a lot of things, so hopefully they got a red or a green. We will keep this, and we go first, and we get a scry. I'll keep that. All right, so we do have that. The question here, though, is do we want to ramp this turn? And give us 4 next turn. We could Aether Gust and Agonize next turn. I think we will do that. We'll put that one onto the battlefield. Now, that might have been the right play, actually, because we would have seen the next card. That probably would have been the better one, so that may have been a misplay on my end. Good news here is, let's do this one first. I don't really care about taking that out right now. We'll take bone off. So Tommy-O we're going to use to dig. And I just got to figure out what I want to dig on for. Probably Euro, to be honest. But Euro going into the graveyard there isn't going to be much of a problem. So we got... What can we return? I can return 2, but I don't. I need to get some cards going here. We could go Casualties, eat. They're mostly odd. We could go. Let's go Nissa actually. Yeah. We'll look. Now I could have looked first, but that wouldn't have helped. We would have hit a land anyway there, I think. Actually, no, we would hit that. Joel Reel. So absolutely able to take us off the board here. As long as they don't have light this stage, we'll be alright. There we go. library that, because we can take his entire board. There we go. We'll get his whole board here. He or she, Son Erickson. Now we just need to odd. Now it's top decking match. We'll keep that one. Ah. Good news is it worked in our favor.
I question this outcome.
Here we go. Got to Nissa.
Together we will prevail.
And we will say
Harness the elements.
nice. We can trade, my friend. Gonna have to do it. We'll keep that, so we'll have plenty.
The land shall conquer you.
Here we go, and we're going to recover. Whew, ran out of juice. We got far enough into our late game against mono red, and that's a big win for us with Sultai Ramp against mono red in best of one. Absolutely. Generally, that's a pretty tough matchup. All right, on to our third and final match with this top 1000 Sultai Ramp deck. Lots of options, lots of things there. We saw ET Extinction, we saw our Exile, the board card, Euro, and we got Nissa again. It's pretty good because I think, provided there's only 2 in the deck. All right, Wretched Devil. Ah, I like it. And we got first. It does not hurt, I won't lie, to get first 3 times in a row here. That is big, big for us. We will keep that. We got great ramp. No search there, though. Alright, so we got a sack deck here. I should have mentioned that earlier when we saw that. So we got a claim. We got a Village Rights. He's going to be untapped there for a while. He can take Euro. This is a tough one for me. I really dislike this card. They'll still get the sack. They'll pull back. I'm going to go with, well, Claim's going to stick around for a while, though. So what's going to hurt him in the short term? Village Rights will. They'll have Priests of Forgotten. They'll still be able to draw off that. I'm actually going to do Village Rights, I think. Ah, and it was Exile. I should have went Priest, actually. That was a misplay. Too fast on the card. That is a-okay, though. So I can either get both. Both Serrateds, or I can get Priest. Or I can wait. He'll steal and hit Nissa though. Let's do that. 5, it'll be at 6. Yeah, I'm bummed. I pulled the wrong thing. I would have gone Priest into 1-drops on here. Shoot. I'm debating if I want to hold one. I might wait. It's a little risky. And 0 is even, so that would hit my lands. We will just keep doing this because we'll hit it soon. Wretched Devil. Interesting play. Yeah. The thing though is, by pulling his self-sack though, it gave us a few turns. So I'm still okay with that. Here we go. Now we can go odd. Because technically this is even as 0, right? Even 0 is even. We can go odd here. So we go. We only need 1. Well, he would sack on the up there. We would lose our guy. Let's see what we get with Temple here. But no draw. It's gonna make that'll make my guys bigger though. I'll keep that. I'm gonna go odd. They have to sack now if they're gonna do it. If they don't, then I can take the board. So this is something that they have to do ahead of time. So what do I want to do? I will go odd here. Still take the wall. everything's playing against us right now. Not the right path forward. And we don't have enough to get him in. They'll just steal one. I think I gotta do this though. I'm dead otherwise. That would be 6. But I'm not going to have anything in my hand. They'll steal sack. I would assume they're going to go for lethal. Yeah, I figured they were sitting on 2 of those, 1 or 2. We knew they had 1. It's lethal. All right, well, we'll take that. 2 and 1. Beat a mono red. Which, again, very happy about. This is a tough matchup also against this deck. Rakdos Sack is a hard one to play against. And then we also had a very nice win our first game. So, all right, let's go ahead and take a look at the deck. Again, going 2 and 1 with this top 1000 Sultai Ramp. Here we go. These cards are available in the deck list down below in the description for you. And the only thing we did not see there was Masker Worm. We didn't see Ugin. Both of those would have, especially Masker Worm, would have been made the match a night and day match for us against the Rakdos Sack. What would I have sideboarded in there? Absolutely would have probably put in another Eliminate. Heartless Act, Legion's End, Scavenging Ooze, Cry the Carnarium. What would I have taken out? I probably would have done a couple lands. The other things you could maybe have moved up here. Aether Gust still doable. That's probably where it would have started, would be the lands. Let's see. Maybe, well, no, Agonizing Remorse is nice too. You want to keep the ramp. Jolreel maybe, but it's nice to have the extra creature when you're drawing. So, tough. Maybe Casualties of War I'd take out. I'd keep Masker Worm. I'd keep Ugin on the high end. Maybe drop Eat to Extinction. Keep that. And there you go. And then in terms of mono red, pretty much similar stuff. Cry the Carnarium, Legion's End, Heartless Act, Eliminate, all good stuff there. The Aether Gusts work really well too. So there you have it, Planeswalkers. If you got questions, let me know. Here to help. I hope you enjoy this top 1000 Sultai Ramp deck as much as I did. It definitely was a lot of fun. Plus, it's pretty interesting playing decks like this when it's not always a 4 of. It gives you lots of options, makes the game a lot more unique, and lots of different interactions as well. So, all right, Planeswalkers, don't forget to subscribe to the channel down over there. Would love to see you around more. Appreciate your support as always, whether you follow us on Twitch or Twitter or like us on Facebook, as well as subscribing to the channel. Great. All right. We'll see you again soon. Stay tuned. Definitely planning to put together a tier list for you for best of 1 here in the next couple days and pump out some more videos. So stay tuned. We'll see you soon.